All right, everyone, welcome back to Quant Wisdom Wednesday. Need more coffee? Don't know what day it is. This one's just going to kind of be a rant. And let me know what you think about these rants. Every time I have a lesson, I think I'm just going to turn on the camera and give that lesson to you guys. Now, historically and notoriously, I'm an awful day trader, and I know it. And I'm working to get around it in ways that use systems. So we talk about this all the time on Line Your Own Pockets, which is a podcast I have with my co-host Dave. You should definitely check out. I'll put in the description below here. We talk about systematizing everything, and I have very much systematized my swing trading. That's what you can get over at Stats Edge Pro. If you end up signing up there, please come check us out. We're doing fantastic. We've got some great trades going on. People in the room are loving it. The idea is that I run all of these systems every weekend for buy and sell levels for different stocks throughout the week. We trade those if and when those levels are hit throughout the week. There's a little Discord alert bot now that will actually send the alert to your phone and say this is the algo this came from and this is what what stock it's looking at. Obviously make the trades your own. What I'm trying to add to that, and what I'm trying to add to my own trading, is day trading. Again, historically, very, very bad at it when I try to do discretionary. So what I'm trying is pure systematic day trading. The idea is that I want to be able to set out a bunch of orders on the open based off some back tests that I run. And then from there, I just want to let the trades play out. Now, that's the idea behind this. And today, if you've been under a rock, yesterday, this drug stock went absolutely out of nowhere. From $2 to about $40, only has a 3% short float. No news, just some Discord room or some Reddit forum or something just pump the hell out of this. So when I'm running my systems for the following day, when I run those systems and I see drug on the list and it says, Mike, you got to put out a bid around $22 on this stock, I get incredibly nervous. And I actually messaged my buddy Dave and the co-host of my podcast. I'm like, man, should I step in the way of this system? I'm just testing it. I'm just trying to build it. Should I step in the way of the system this time? Because this stock is insane. The stock is crazy. And he's, kind of let me know. He's like, hey, did you test your system? Is the risk managed in your system? And I said yes, but look at this candle, guys. Like this is insanity. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time since that HKD that blew up out of nowhere and then tanked back down. I'm like, I'm gonna try to buy this thing at 22. So what ended up becoming of it, I was hoeing and humming this morning over my morning coffee of whether or not to send out these orders in the pre-market to get filled during the day. And at the end of the day, I said, yes, I've sized all these correctly. The algorithm looks at the size of yesterday's candle, and it uses that to figure out how many shares to buy or sell. So if yesterday's candle is very, very wide, it lowers the size. If yesterday's candle is very, very narrow, it raises the size. And at the end of the day, on roughly a, say 6-figure account, would have cost me 6-7% if drug completely blew through my stock and went almost to zero. Would have cost me 6% of the account, which would have been a loss that would have been no fun, but I would have been able to do it. So at the end of the day, I set out my order for $22, and lo and behold, right, it was pretty much the low. We came in, we tagged that, and then we started to push higher right off that gain. Now, what I have to look at as a systematic trader is what if, I know my green screen's going funny here, but what if the complete opposite happened? What if the thing that I feared happened, where this thing sold off, it hit my stop loss order and just continued to sell down, and I lost 4 or 5% of my portfolio based off this trade? That is a larger than normal loss and a larger than expected loss, which is okay, right? That's just part of the game. What I have to always remind myself is that these things are going to happen. Now, it ended up being a pretty wicked game. I ended up scalping out some of the position just a half hour later when I saw it. The rest of it, I'm supposed to be holding to the close, so I am. But it just kind of taught me that you have to if you're developing systems, you have to take the leap of faith. And sometimes the trade that's going to work out the best is going to be the trade that is the ugliest. So the only takeaway for you guys is if you're building systems, if you're doing this with me and you're building and you're becoming a systematic trader, you just have to trust the process. And sometimes pulling the trigger at what feels like the worst possible time could end up being the best trade. And even if it was a bad trade, in hindsight, I still would have looked at it positively because it's what the system that I built said to do, and I did it. The thing that probably would have made me the most upset is if I canceled that order and say this came down to $20 and then absolutely rocketed to, $100 or something crazy like that. That would have been one of those gains that my system absolutely has to capture in order to make the outsized returns that I'm looking to do. So have faith, hit the button when your system tells you to hit the button after you've done enough testing and the risk is tolerable to you. And if you don't have a system, you want to come check out what we're doing over at Stats Edge Pro, definitely come and do that.